How many of you are living a pretty decent life, yet you still find yourself complaining a lot? Why is that? Why do we do that to ourselves? Our lives are, for the majority of the time, pretty special. They're pretty great. Yet we still complain. We still think so negatively. We think about all the things that we wish we could have got done today, or the things we should have accomplished by now in life, or the relationships that we should have. We constantly look to the things that we don't have and never appreciate the things that we do have. And so it keeps us stuck in this bubble of negativity. So in today's video, I want to talk to you guys about how we can learn to defeat some of those negative thoughts and stop thinking so negatively about ourselves and about our situation. Before we get into the video, I just wanted to welcome those of you who are new here. And for those of you returning subscribers, welcome back. My name is Bridget and I'm a parent and mindset coach. I also have a free Facebook group called Raising Me While Raising You, and it's an awesome community filled with parents who are likely on the same journey as you are if you clicked on this video. We talk about mindset, motivation, confidence, relationships. So if any of that interests you, I'm going to leave a link in the description below, and I hope to see you there. Also, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I post videos every single Tuesday and Friday. So with that being said, let's get into the video. So what do we know about how the mind works? I know a few things about how the mind in general works. I know that the mind is often like a battlefield sometimes, or at least that's how it's been for me. Most of the struggles, the mistakes, and the failures that I faced in my life have often been a battle in my mind first. Our minds, when we think certain thoughts, are wired with pathways. So every time we think a thought, there are pathways going off in our brain. And so the next time we think this thought, it's much easier because we've already wired that pathway. The more you think a thought, the easier it is to think that thought the next time. And that's why it's so difficult to turn off these negative thoughts, because we are wiring our brains to think this way. We see all of this negativity everywhere, the news and social media and all of these things happening, in our relationships. We are just constantly talking about what went wrong today. Misery loves company, right? So we all just complain together. And with that programming that we've lived for so long, we are wiring our brains to think this way. And it takes work to rewire our brains to think more positively. In fact, it takes more work to think positively than it does negatively. I've seen this so many times in my life before, where I've set myself up for failure before I've even failed. I wake up in the morning, and if I have a really busy day, or if I have a lot of things to do, or if I have to do some things that I'm scared about, or whatever the case is, I find myself saying things like, this day is going to be awful, or I'm never going to get these things done, it's going to be exhausting, I'm going to have to go see this person today and I don't want to see that person. And the more I think these thoughts, the more that it comes true in my life. Right? So when we think a thought, we believe that thought, we see it exist in reality. Our reality, our life, the life that you're living right now, is just a reflection of the thoughts that you have. The more I take time and put in effort to focus on what's great in my life, the more I see it coming into my life. And it wasn't always this way. But I've done a lot of reflection in my life. I've talked about my stories, my struggles, and how I found writing as a way to cope with that. And through all the writing that I've done, and I've done quite a bit, because for me it's very healing. It's something I've always found as a way of self-discovery and self-awareness. And so through this reflection, there are certain times in my life where I was experiencing a lot of pain or grief or trauma or abuse or whatever the case is, that there was one thing that I've always done to get out of it. And that one thing was thinking that there was always going to be something good coming. And I'm not really sure why I had this belief, but it's proven to have worked for me. I'll give you one example. After my dad passed, there was just this thought that kept coming into my head, this thing that kept repeating in my head, and it was the only thing that got me through it. It was that this has to be for a reason, right? There has to be something good to come out of this, because there's no way that this should happen to someone so good. And everything that happened after the fact, the way it kind of just broke our family and broke my relationship with my mother, it was just something good has to come from this, right? And so no matter what happened, all of the things that happened after the fact, I still had this belief that there had to be some good from it. And that those beliefs helped me get to a place. I just kept thinking that it's going to be good. It's going to be fine. I'm going to get to a place where I want to be. And so I've done this periodically all my life with the struggles that I faced. And I try to always see the good. I try to always see the positive, because I know that it's worked for me. And it wasn't until just a few years ago that I found out what I had been doing this whole time. And it's called reframing. And essentially what reframing is you're taking a different side of the story. You're taking a different frame. You can either wake up in the morning and say, today is going to be a good day. And you'll most likely have a good day because you think you're going to have a good day. Or you can take the side where you think you're going to have an awful day. And you most likely will have an awful day because you're going to see all of the awful things. When you take the time, you put in the work and the effort to see the good, to look at the positives, to look at all the things that you can be grateful for, you're going to see it show up in your life. Reframing is a way where we can identify the challenges or emotions or the thoughts or beliefs that we have and change them intentionally. So if you're the type of person who is constantly waking up in the morning and having those thoughts, change them. Verbally say them, write them down, do whatever you need to change that thought. And the more you do this, the more you're going to fire those pathways that are going to help you think in that positive direction. And guess what? Next time you go to have those thoughts, it's going to be easier to have that thought because you're rewiring your mind. You're rewiring your brain to think those thoughts. So maybe I've been rewiring my brain this whole time. I don't know. But when I found out about reframing, I kind of took a look at my life and said, wait a minute, I think I've been doing this for a really long time and I just never knew what it was. I don't know where I learned it. Maybe it was a coping mechanism. Maybe it was just, I don't know. I really don't know where I got the technique, but I know it's helped me through so many things in my life. There are so many things that could actually be happening, yet our minds like to make up stories. They're very good at making up stories, and most of the time, they're negative stories. Which is why I've always had challenges over people judging me. And I've talked about this in numerous videos, like my fear of judgment and criticism and my whole journey with confidence issues. But my mind will make up these stories. And they'll tell me that people are judging me or saying something about me, or that, this person in my life thinks ill of me, or just so many things that aren't true. And so these negative thoughts, it's not even just about complaining. It's not even just about working your way through a hard time in your life. it's also about just living life to the fullest, being who you are, getting your confidence. It's just negative thoughts show up in so many different ways, and they've showed up in so many different ways in my life. And reframing has tremendously helped work through some of those things, whether that's through hardship, whether that's through my relationships, or even my confidence with myself. So I want you to try this. I want you to try it for a couple days or a week even. Putting in the effort to change your mind, change your perspective, and change the thought that you have about yourself or that the day you're going to have. I want to challenge you to do this for yourself and put in the effort to rewire some of those thoughts that you're having. Before I end today's video, I just wanted to announce that spots for my free consult are open. So if you're a parent and you're working through your journey, you want to be more confident and have better relationships, change your mindset, I really urge you to sign up for this consult. You'll get a chance to chat with me, talk about what you're struggling with, and see how I can help and if we're a good fit. So I'm going to leave the link in the description below, and I hope to see you there. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed, hope you found it useful as always, and I will see you next time.